Universal Studios proudly presents.
No.
Then you do it.
Fine. Alright, so we're here today to join our family and friends in celebrating these two weirdos. And we thought, what better people to spread the love and joy of these two people than to allow two even better people tell the real story about what happened. Some call it the love of siblings, and well, we call it blackmail. So sit back and enjoy dancing.
I don't dance.
Interpretive dancing and singing.
I don't sing.
Interpretive dancing and a choir of angels singing. Okay, no. All right. As we recall everything that led up to the union of this man and his wife. Part 1, the beginning. She was just a small town girl, living in a lonely world. She was a kid without any cares.
She was 13.
Just a city boy, driving around his big blue car. His curly hair caught her stare. Oh, and did he catch her stare? Our 13-year-old, glasses-wearing dweeb of a sister didn't stand a chance against those luscious curls and that orange VBS t-shirt. It was love at first sight, there in that overcrowded Fannin Hall, filled with toddlers screaming for grandma and moms. Cupid's arrows struck our young bride. Victoria was smitten, Bobby was smitten. You could say love opened a door.
You did.
I did.
It's nothing like I ever before. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. With you. Love is an open door.
Victoria and Bobby's journey wasn't easy from the start. These two star-crossed lovers met with the disapproval of many.
Gina.
You need some more?
No.
Alright, just check. Alright, yet they refused to give up. They continued their silent romance in Taco Bell parking lots and poorly planned homecoming charades. Bobby's mom hailed Victoria her new daughter-in-law, and our mom hailed Bobby
A cab.
a cab. Despite her parents' disapproval, Bobby was ever persistent, and on the home front, Victoria remained
Obnoxious.
resilient. Finally, after asking over and over,
Begging.
pleading,
Bartering.
their parents finally approved. So the next few years became a whirlwind of birthdays, proms, family parties, game nights, late night taco. We went to Taco Bell a lot. Illegally forking lawns, which we won't get into tonight, and chicken timers. People knew that whenever they saw Bobby, they would always see
Evan.
Victoria! It seemed as if this perfect world would last forever, but one thing stood in their way. Graduation. Alas, the day came when Bobby and Victoria would be hundreds,
Thousands.
millions of miles apart. Their love would undergo extreme makeover college edition, and the true question remained, would they love it or list it? I know, they chose to list it.
Let us all have a moment of silence.
Okay, moving on. So despite their departure, Bobby and Victoria both knew that someday love would find them. It would break those chains that bind them.
One night would remind them. of how they touched and went their separate ways.
All right, here we go. So part 2, Worlds Apart. Should we?
Yeah, just skip around again.
Alright, we'll skip around a little bit. So, blah, 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 blah. Bobby goes to state, makes more money than me, blah, 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 blah. Victoria goes to MUW, turning the page, skipping down, just keep reading. Something about Victoria, probably not important. Definitely not important. Here we go. And Victoria left for the most magical place on earth right before her godson was born. But who's keeping track? And that's where our story picks up today, because let's be honest, I brought them back together.
I thought it was being forced to be around each other because of the birth of John that brought them back together.
It was 10 hours of labor.
And Katie brought them back together.
But truth be told, it was indeed a rotten little boy who reunited the pair. Forced to make plans about baptisms and Christmases and birthdays, Bobby and Victoria were once again reunited. And there Bobby stood with open arms, hoping she'd see what his love meant to him. Open arms?
Oh, smooth.
Fairy tales, what better place to find happily ever after than Walt Disney World? As the fireworks exploded over the castle, the two lovers looked deep into each other's eyes and knew the truth. They had finally found one another again, and this time they wouldn't let it go.
You weren't even there!
Shut up, it's for effect. They talked it out over Chinese food. What kind of story is that?
The real one.
Fine, and they fell back in love over fortune cookies and promised that they won't go breaking each other's hearts.
They couldn't if they tried.
No, they couldn't. Story comes to an end, or maybe it's just a beginning, because there will be future fights over honey butter chicken biscuits, and there will be whining over puppies at PetSmart. There will be overly competitive board game nights and possibly Fireball whiskey. Ask her that story, it's a good one.
Don't ask me that story.
There will be paper, rock, scissor wars over taking out the trash, and there will be arguments over get your cold ass feet off of me, and what the hell else could you possibly need from Target? But above all, as history has shown us, there will be love. So, let us raise a glass and toast my two very best friends as they celebrate their future. Ready, Victoria? Oh, she's toasting herself, I'm sorry. We'll raise a glass and toast my two very best friends as they celebrate their future hand in hand.